Hello all, welcome to my channel. Let's discuss some of the top stories in India today. So let's get into the topic. Prime Minister Narendra Modi wants to make India more self-reliant. But if the experience over the past few years is anything to go by, it's not going to be easy. Faced with disruptions to raw material supplies from China because of the pandemic and millions of job losses following a nationwide lockdown, Modi has raised up calls to boost local manufacturing and reduce India's reliance on imports. A shortage of personal protective equipment at the beginning of the outbreak increased his resolve, and within the space of just 2 months, India has become the world's biggest maker of PPE kits after China. That success has only emboldened Modi as he exhorts Indians to buy local goods. A military standoff with China is now adding fuel to those calls. Following a deadly clash between soldiers from both countries along a contested Himalayan border this month, Indian political leaders have called for a boycott of Chinese goods and possible higher tariffs on products from its neighbors. Traders who were previously reluctant to snub cheap Chinese imports have now come up with a list of 3,000 items, including toys, watches, and plastic products that can easily be replaced by local manufacturing. The push to cut imports this time is more pronounced in its economic nationalism. A senior research fellow said, the dominant thinking is if business give up imports and start making the same products at home, then they would create jobs and generate incomes in self-sustaining process. Modi previously attempted to boost domestic manufacturing with his Make in India plan, but that had limited success. Under that initiative, the government pledged to cut red tape and assist companies looking to set up shop in country. The ambition was to grow manufacturing to 25% by 2020 from 15% in 2014. But strict local content rules in that plan backfired by raising production costs for companies while waning domestic consumption amid a protracted slowdown in the economy. Encounter breaks out between military and militants in Kashmir. An encounter broke out between security forces and militants in Sopore area of Baramulla district of Jammu and Kashmir on Thursday, police has informed. Security forces launched a cordon and search operation at Harday Shiva in Sopore area of North Kashmir this morning after receiving specific information about the presence of militants in the area. He said the search operation turned into an encounter after terrorists fired upon a search party of the forces who retaliated. The exchange of firing is going on and further details are awaited. Congress to hold protest over fuel price hike and Chinese incursion into Indian territory. The Congress will hold mass protest across the country next Monday over the unprecedented rise in petrol and diesel prices. All India Congress Committee General Secretary Organization K.C. Venugopal said the party will also hold a mass protest on Friday over Chinese incursion into Indian territory by paying homage to the army personnel killed in a violent face-off with Chinese troops in eastern Ladakh's Galwan Valley. The Congress party will pay homage to the martyrs of Ladakh by observing June 26 as Shahidon Ko Salam Divas across India. They will sit at Shahid Samaks or the statues of Mahatma Gandhi or freedom fighters in their respective locations, he said in a statement to the press. In a message to all state units, he said there will be no sloganeering while paying homage to martyrs, and silent protest holding placards, lamps and candles with a national flag background will pay tribute to the martyrs between 11 am 12 noon on Friday. On June 29, Congress workers wearing masks and by maintaining social distancing norms will sit on a 2-hour dharna from 10 am to 12 pm at noon every district headquarters to protest against the unprecedented rise in the price of petrol and diesel and demand its rollback. The same day, the party will also hold a massive online campaign, speak up on petroleum price and hike, whereas leaders, party functionaries and sympathizers will put up a live videos and post highlighting the plights of people due to the hike in fuel price. The next topic is Tamil Nadu stops inter-district public transport services for 6 days. Inter-district public transport bus service are being withdrawn for 6 days in Tamil Nadu from Thursday and e-pass made mandatory for travel outside a district, the Tamil Nadu government announced, reintroducing the curbs amid continuing surge in COVID-19 cases. The decision was taken after district collectors at a virtual review meeting chaired by Chief Minister Palaniswamy made the suggestion, saying there were difficulties in contact tracing in a case a person travelling outside a district without e-pass tested positive for the deadly virus. Also, officials said the virus was spreading in view of unrestricted travel by public within the zones. Announcing the restoration of the curbs eased from June 1, Tamil Nadu's Chief Minister Palanisamy referred to the view of officials as well and said private vehicles, including cars and two-wheelers, cannot make their interzonal travel without e-pass. People coming from other states and foreign countries shall be quarantined and their entry shall be subjected to possession of e-pass, he added in a statement. E-passes are issued only for travel for medical emergencies, death or marriage of blood relatives and essential services. Palanisamy also said ration card holders in Madurai will get the second round of ₹1,000 cash assistance in view of the week-long complete lockdown enforced there from Wednesday to check rising cases. The Chief Minister said the present zonal system of allowing travel within a zone without the need to obtain e-pass has been temporarily cancelled. The government for transportation purposes had earlier divided the state into 8 zones and allowed public transport buses in all, but 2 zones comprising Chennai and its neighbouring districts with high case load while doing away with the need for e-pass for intra-zone journeys. He has also appealed to people to extend their cooperation to prevent the spread of coronavirus. In a review meeting, district collectors pointed out factors like difficulty in tracking contacts of those who arrive in district from another without an e-pass. Next is Trump administration accused Huawei acquisition as backed by Chinese military. The Trump administration has determined that top Chinese firms including telecom equipment giants Huawei Technologies and video surveillance company Hikvision are owned or controlled by Chinese military, laying the groundwork for new US financial sanctions, according to a document seen by Reuters on Wednesday. The list of 20 companies that Washington alleges are backed by People's Liberation Army also include China Mobile Communications Group and China Telecommunications Corporation, as well as aircraft manufacturer Aviation Industry Corporation of China. The US defense official, speaking on condition of anonymity, confirmed the authenticity of the document and said it had been sent to Congress. And the next topic is Indian auto industry will cut dependence on Chinese imports. The $57 billion India auto component industry has started taking steps towards deep localization to de-risk business from Chinese imports, with the border dispute between the two countries only acting as a catalyst to speed up the process, according to industry body ACMA. Further, the domestic automobile industry is also seeking to cut dependence on Chinese imports after facing a severe shortage of critical components due to the coronavirus pandemic, as companies based out of China currently continue to be leading suppliers of automotive components. In 2018 and 19, India imported auto components worth $17.6 billion, of which 27% were from China. With COVID-19 and associated lockdowns, all economics and industries have started to look inwards and minimize the reliance on imports. The auto industry in India started to de-risk itself and is working on deep localization, he added, adding that the recent standoff between India and China will only hasten the process. There is no denying that the industry needs to be Atmanirbhar and companies and the government should together define a roadmap and deliver accordingly, they added. Ease of doing business, availability of capital at low rates and globally competitive logistics and energy costs are some of the prerequisites that the government should look into to ensure growth of domestic auto component, the industry has said. Thank you for watching this video. Kindly comment or share this video if you like. Or you also can share your inputs as how can I improve my presentation. Once again, thank you for watching this video.